Hi, this is Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. We're on the Fjords map for this battle, and we are following Red Bull 2 from VidiClan. He's in the Tier 9 German heavy tank, the E75, which got recently buffed to give it stronger frontal armor and some gun changes as well. Anyway, we'll see how well he performs in this. It's got some camo on his tank, looks like a circuit board. I'm not sure where that came from, but yeah, it's quite an interesting decoration. He's also showing his mastery badge on the front, and he's got one MOE. So yeah, he will mean business. Anyway, he's heading to this gap here to see if he can spot enemy tanks crossing to get down to the heavy line. Now we can tell that because he's on that left-hand side, and if he was heading down to the heavy corner, the J4 area, he would have been down on the beach side to avoid getting shot as he crossed. Anyway, he's got the E100 right next to him. He's not top tier in this game. Got an E100 and a Chieftain. The E100 shouldn't have been there. Should have been heading down to that J4 area. So not good decision making really. If he thought that was going to be a good spot for the heavies to stop and not contest the corner, then he's mistaken. Chieftain also oddly stopped there, but okay, so well, we'll see how both of them perform. Anyway, Red Bull's decided again head down to that spot. You can see he has taken the low area, so good decision making for that. There looks like the Chieftain has changed his mind, and the E100 is moving as well, so he's going to get some support there. There's a Centurion 1 and a T30 there, Centurion 1 being the Tier 8 British tank, heavy tank. And you can see the enemy E100, which was spotted earlier heading to that spot, has certainly taken up one of the strong points there. So we've got Red Bull is coming down on this low side. The Chieftain most likely will stay down low if he can to use the strengths of that tank, which is the gun depression and the strong turret armor. So anyway, so Red Bull here is going to take a bit of a risk, and not sure whether the E100 is fired, but is he going to poke in straight away? Yes, he is. And he gets hit full in the face by the E100. So the E100 is firing heat. That's what we refer to as the Heat 100. So not uncommon for E100 players to use that ammunition. It does have reasonable AP performance, but yeah, some people like to guarantee the thing. Now here's that E100 on his own team pushing in again, so not really clever. So you can see he's getting good side scraping there, and not giving the E100 much, so bounced the E100's incoming round there. Obviously heat's got to penetrate to do damage. If it has to on some extremities, but it can do damage, but half damage if it hits the right spots on the outside of the tank. Anyway, so just a bit of a patience game. You can see the top of the 100, that is a weak spot. The bar going across only managed to get a snapshot in there, so he's now got 2 damaging shots in. You see his average damage there is just over 500, and just unfortunately didn't reload in time to catch the 100 moving back into cover. Nonetheless, the other tanks have moved up. He's got the 100 and the Chieftain with him. Not necessarily a great spot now for the Chieftain. He'll be exposing his low front potentially, although that is a defender facing him, but a bit hard to tell what other tanks are in the background, particularly tank destroyers that might be on the hill. So yeah, the 100 took a big hit, and looks like Red Bull just bounced around off a T30. It hasn't been seen, but most likely is up there on the hill where he's just sort of pointing his gun at the moment. Snaps a shot in at the E100, which fails to connect, but the E100's taken a fair hit of damage. But Red Bull's noticed that the enemy team have been pushing in on the north for the last minute or so, and in fact they've only got a Tier 9 and Tier 8 tank in front of them, so he's basically heading back here to cover the base. Now all he really needs to do is get back to get in spotting range rather than rush in all the way, and again sort of risk the crossing area. So he's just found a good hard point here that he can side scrape off, and hopefully the tanks and the arty that are left there will spot up the enemy tanks that might be coming in on the base. So you can see the base is just in his view range. If they were stopped there, you wouldn't see them. That's there you go. See that Panther 2 wasn't spotted until basically he was spotted by the arty, most likely. E150's turned up. Now, Red Bull's been spotted, but he's just got a good hit there on the E50. And there's an object 277 that was spotted now, has just moved in on the area there to get rid of the arty, but he has now exposed himself. So will we get a shot in on there? Yes, good shot in on the side. 277's got decent armour, particularly resistant to heat on the sides, a bit like the i7, but yeah, obviously that round went in the right spot, just above the track area. So he's bouncing rounds now. He's lit, but also be taking blind shots. He's got the E50 firing at him, the Panther 2. And there's the 277. He's found a low spot there, so he's not accessible, but there's the Panther 2, and he gets taken out by Red Bull. So he gets spotted there because he fired. They put some blind shots in, but no one's managed to connect with him just yet. He has basically pulled out of or into cover from those tanks. So yes, that 277 is basically lifting up out of that low depression he was in, but that round connected but didn't do any damage. So T30 has pushed up to that position, not really a wise thing to do, but has taken out the T30, helped by a good damaging shot from Red Bull. So Red Bull's now up onto 3,000 damage, and he's blocked 2,000, so that's good performance from his armour. As we were talking about earlier, the frontal armour got buffed, so by keeping the front of his tank facing towards the enemy, that's really doing the most. So the E50 is still up there, but you can see on the minimap that Carnarvon is coming around. Now the E50 has taken out the T30, and the Carnarvon's pushing in on the Leopard PTA. Now that'll basically be battle of guns. The Leopard PTA's armour won't stand up to the Carnarvon, and the Carnarvon looks to be almost full health. And yeah, arty takes out the last health of the PTA. So it's now 9 tanks to 12. So a deficit of 3 tanks, and there's only the 2 tanks behind him. There's 2 arty on the enemy team, and the rest are tanks basically. So he fires a shot into the Carnarvon, but the Carnarvon's got a pretty tough turret front too, sort of common to the British heavy tanks. And unless he gets to the commander's hatch, he's probably not going to do a whole lot of damage. You can see Red Bull was right up against this rock here, using gun depression, but you know, protecting his front plate. Now the Carnarvon's pushing in, not a very mobile tank, and you can see also the British tanks have fairly low alpha guns, so even if he did connect, which he just did, he's not taking a lot of heat out. Now, clever shooting there. Red Bull focused the E50 with a more dangerous tank, being a strong gun, and it also recently buffed. In fact, in this particular patch, the E50 got a buff, but he's now focusing down this Carnarvon. He's taking a little bit of damage, but basically side scraping off here. Maybe he's not putting too much of an angle. That Carnarvon's going to keep bouncing off him. In fact, that one went into the track, so he's got the opportunity now to dispose of the Carnarvon, which he does by putting a round in through the turret roof. So he's lost his companions now. In fact, he was just down 5 tanks to 1, so he's now up for a Kolobanov's medal, I should say, if he can hold out here. Tags the T30 and takes a big hit from the Object 263. Now, is he going to get rid of the T30? No, the T30 is actually firing AP, I've noticed, so it may not be all that skilled a player. Not that I mean that you have to use premium rounds to be a skilled player, but if he's not pinning, he should have been using premium rounds, so I would have thought to get rid of this tank. And he's pretty much a one-shot as far as the T30 goes, who's got an alpha damage rate of around about 730. So, however, so far, he hasn't really done a whole lot of damage. Now, again, Red Bull focused the Object 263 as the most dangerous tank, and he's maybe sussed out this T30 player, so he's put in a damaging hit. He's going to reload again well before the T30, and he's not allowing him to ram him by travelling back with him, so that's saved some of his hit points. Now, he's got a damaged gun. He hasn't repaired anything yet, so we'll see what he does out of there. And where are the 2 arty? That's what he's got to worry about next. Look, here they are. They've come for him. They're actually gunning for him. He got a big hit in there from both the 207 and the T92s down to 39 hit points, but he's taken out the T92 and he's just got this FB 207 and he finishes him off with the final thing. So great comeback there and guaranteed Kolobanov's medal. So well done. So here we have the results of the battle. The Ace Tanker badge, of course, for that great performance. The spotted badge for doing more than 1,000 spotting, collection of the other badges. The main one here, of course, is the Kolobanov's model for being the last tank on his side and having at least 5 enemy facing that he defeated, including killing them. The Pascucci's for the killing those 2 arty, Steel Wall, High Caliber, and the Top Gun for getting more than 6 kills. So 6.3k of damage, and he ended up with 1573 base experience. And we can see that E100 finished well down the list there, doing well less than the hit points of his tank, as did the Chieftain. So yeah, not really great results for having such good tanks. The E100 on the other side did pretty well, so shout out to him for getting 3.5k of damage. So 22 shots fired, 20 hit, so very good accuracy from that German gun, 16 penetrated. Apart from the 6.3k direct damage he did, he bounced 5.89, so indicating again the strong frontal armor improvements that were made on this particular tank and its line. So he ended up losing credits slightly, but I think the result speaks for itself, and excellent result. Well done.